Donald Trump attacked Representative Elijah Cummings for what he perceives to be out of the ordinary poverty in Baltimore. In reality, poverty is something that many Americans throughout the country are facing, whether they live in Democratic districts or Republican districts. In fact, if you live in a Republican district, chances are you're more likely to experience poverty. But I don't want to focus on the partisan component of this. I want to focus on a government that hasn't done anything for the vast majority of Americans when it comes to economic justice. So just a few numbers for you that I think are important. 8 out of 10 states with the lowest poverty levels are actually blue states. But let me also say that in California, in Los Angeles specifically, we have 60,000 people living out on the streets. So poverty is a huge problem everywhere. But if you look at poverty as a whole, 8 out of 10 states with the lowest poverty levels are blue states. And 8 out of 9 states with the highest level of poverty are red states. That's according to census data.
So I'm also tired of Democrats playing nice. So they'll point, first of all, no Democratic official would ever point that out. The media points that out sometimes, very rarely, good job in this case, and then moves on because they don't have an agenda. Okay, correct way of doing it is, Democrats should hold a press conference about how 8 out of the 9 poorest states in the country are red states and ask why Republican Party officials are such miserable failures. It's your states that are in miserable, poverty-stricken conditions. And you guys have been in charge for 40 years in those states. And are you ever going to fix them, you miserable failures, you losers who are obviously creating miserable conditions in the places that you operate? You don't believe in government? Well, no wonder your government doesn't work in any of those states. Right, Democrats will never do that because they'll go, oh my God, then they'll say we're against Americans. No, Trump is against Americans that live in Baltimore. They're just as American as anyone who lives anywhere in Mississippi.
Well, he's against Americans, period. He's against Americans who are living in poverty because remember, it's Trump who keeps touting the economy. It's Trump who claims the economy is doing really, really well. Everyone's really successful. As the homeless rate increases throughout the country, as people are unable to afford food for their families, don't believe me? Let's take a quick look at Trump and the compilation of him bragging about how great the economy is.
It's said now that our economy is the strongest it's ever been in the history of our country. You know why they're coming up, right? Because we have created the strongest economy in the history of our country. So they're coming because they want a piece of. Think of it, we have the strongest economy in history, the lowest unemployment numbers ever. Each of you is coming of age at a time of unlimited possibility. It's true, better than I think ever before. Our country is doing phenomenally well. We're going all the way. You look at what's happening outside of the United States, it's not a pretty picture. America's thriving, America's booming, and America is winning again and winning like never before. It's never been winning like this.
Alma McNeely used to have a good factory job. Now she recycles cans for extra money.
We have the highest stock market in the history of our country. And a lot of you with 401ks. And that's not a rich people thing. The people that own that stock are people with 401ks, everything else.
You always got to start at the bottom of the totem pole.
Well, you don't. Or we started out at the bottom, so that's where we got to start. But rich people, most of them didn't start out at the bottom.
No, they started at the top and stayed at the top.
Your front yard looks like a lake.
He looked worse than that yesterday.
When it rains, the rest of the town's waste backs up into the Halcombs' yard.
I hear that.
This is sewer. Okay, that must be where it's seeping through this sewer here.
The whole middle of the country is red. You saw that in the clip. That clip was fantastic. The whole center is all bright red, meaning Republican, all red. And just those little edges are blue.
All those photos that you just saw in that video to juxtapose or to conflict and tell the truth about what the state of the economy is came from a Twitter user by the name of Ben No More No Less, and we're gonna get into his tweets in just a second, but he took photos of the poverty throughout the country, throughout various states to show what the reality is for most Americans.
And a lot of the pictures are from places that Mitch McConnell is representing and some of the top Republican leaders. And so what happened now? I thought it was just Baltimore. No, and let's talk about Baltimore for 1 second. Trump says the economy is great, but Baltimore is dirty and miserable and poverty-stricken. So is it not true that the economy is great? Or is the economy great, but not for Baltimore, and you didn't care to fix it? You thought, oh, that's a blue district or that's a black district. I don't care. I just want my rich friends who have all their money in the stock market to do well. And if you're in miserable conditions, I'm never gonna fix it. Even though back in 2015, he said, oh, if he was president, he could fix Baltimore fast. And obviously he hasn't. But guys, the most important thing is, it isn't about Baltimore. Poverty is everywhere across the country, in red states, and yes, of course in blue states, because all of our leaders have betrayed us. They did. They gave everything to the rich, and they set the rules so the top 1% would get almost all of the gains. Under Obama, that was also true. I remember during the economic recovery in the year 2010, 93% of the gains went to the top 1%, okay? So under George W. Bush, under Obama, under Clinton, now under Trump, even worse. The top 1% get everything and then brag about what a great economy they have for themselves, while the rest of the country lives in poverty.
Exactly. So I want to just quickly go through some of the tweets coming from that account I was telling you about earlier. It was to draw attention to the fact that there are many people living in poverty in a lot of red districts throughout the country. I can't believe the conditions in Baltimore. Wait, I'm sorry, these aren't from Baltimore. They're from places, Jim Jordan and Senate
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell
represent. Okay.
Jim Jordan is one of the biggest right-wing hacks in Congress who loves to support Donald Trump. Well, what happened? Jim, why don't you go back to where you came from and fix it? I mean, your people are living in poverty. Aren't you gonna do anything about it, Jim? No, Jim Jordan's gotta get those tax cuts for the rich. That's his donors. That's what kind of a sellout Jim Jordan is, let alone Mitch McConnell, which everybody knows, even the people in Kentucky know. All he ever does is work for the rich.
So he also shared photos from Matt Gaetz's district and Lindsey Graham's district. There you go. Or Lindsey Graham's state, I should say. Then you can go ahead and look at the next tweet where he shows more photos. Representative Doug Nunes and Representative Devin Nunes and Representative Doug Collins represent this part of the country. I mean, the list goes on and on. But again, it's not about Democrats versus Republicans. It's about poverty in America. It's about Republicans raping and pillaging, and Democrats just sitting idly by and allowing it to happen, or in some cases even assisting them with it.
100%.
Right?
So look, guys, why don't the Democrats do what I said in the beginning of this story? Rip into the Republicans for their horrible management of the red states. Well, that's because it would upset the donors. The donors don't want you to have increased taxes that could actually rebuild the infrastructure of any of those states, blue or red. The donors don't want regulation that might protect the environment in the area. They don't. That's why they say, even for the Democratic donors, they say, I'm socially liberal, but I'm economically conservative.
That's Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and so socially liberal means I don't hate black people. I'm not gonna do anything for them, but I don't hate them. I don't hate gay people. I'm not gonna do anything for them. I just don't hate them. But hey, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money, right? And so that's why we've had wealth redistribution in this country to the very top. Corporate tax rates used to account for about 35% of the taxes being paid in the country. It is now below 10%. They fixed the laws and the rules through their campaign donations, so corporations pay less, the rich pay less. Guess who pays more? Payroll taxes have gone up dramatically as a percentage of taxes paid. Who pays the payroll tax? The poor and the middle class. It doesn't even go past a certain limit, so it stops. The rich pay the least in payroll tax as a percentage of their income. So they're like, perfect. Let's rob from the middle class and give it to the richest people, and then complain about poverty in Baltimore. Look around in the red states, look around in the whole country. The bottom 99% of this country is in disastrous shape because our wages have not gone up in 40 years.
Exactly, so we have we pay higher rates in taxes, and then at the same time, our wages have remained stagnant. And it's reflected in various statistics and various studies that are done, like the study that was done by the Federal Reserve. 40% of Americans wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency with cash, savings, or even a credit card charge that they could pay off quickly.
So even Trump's Labor Department concedes that when inflation is taken into account, both bonuses and wages have dropped under Trump. So he says, oh, the economy is doing great. That means the economy for all my donors is doing great. I just gave them $2 trillion in tax cuts. For the rest of you, joke's on you. Your wages actually went down. And over the last 40 years, they haven't gone up at all. By the way, while your productivity has gone sky high. American people are more productive than they have ever been. But did you get any of that? No, went to the very top. Throw all the bums out, starting with the top orange bum of all, Donald Trump. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.